Hey y'all, welcome to Ryan and Robert Rants. Today we are continuing our Conjuring Ranked series.
We didn't forget about it.
We didn't, guys. We've been on hiatus. A lot going on behind the scenes over here for the both of us, but we didn't forget about you or this roller coaster of a franchise. But yes, we will be doing another installment today. Robert, which one do we have?
We'll be doing The Conjuring Last Rites just in time, I think, for the digital release. So, we let you, you know what? We were just being considerate and letting you all watch the movie before we reviewed it. That's what we did.
I like that. Yes,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
right.
nothing
Because
about
we're
a
considerate
vacation or
individuals, right?
working overtime and, nothing, life related.
Yeah, synergy, nothing like
Yeah,
that. We're just that freaking good at what we do.
yeah.
But yes, Conjuring Last Rites. So, just like our previous episodes, if you haven't seen them, definitely check them out, especially just in time for Halloween, which hopefully we can get this out before then. But if not, hey, all good things to those who wait. But yeah, if you haven't checked out the previous episodes, definitely check them out. Just like we have in the other ones, we will be spoiling this movie, so you have been warned. And as Robert already mentioned, this is also going to be sort of a pseudo movie review at the same time as well, because normally when we see them in theaters, we also try to do a separate review and a little ranking, but we're going to combine them both today. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. And before we jump into the plot synopsis and whatnot, me and Robert haven't had a chance to talk about this movie at all to each other. We both had
Nope.
separate theater experiences, so I just want to talk very briefly, very, very briefly on those. So, Robert, how was your experience in the theater when you saw
I
this?
was the only one in the theater, so it was great.
Oh, oh,
So great. Anytime I saw just shadows dancing around, I was like, oh man, it added to the ambiance of the movie.
nice, nice.
Yeah.
You
How
remember the
about you?
trailers you saw by any chance?
No, no.
No.
Dude, I don't even
Same
remember the
as
trailers like 2 hours after I watched the movie.
right. Yeah, I miss those days when it used to be like you'd sit there and you'd forget the movie you were watching because you were like, hey, that trailer was pretty good. I want to see that movie. Yeah, those days are gone. But yeah, the theater experience was pretty good. It was very cold in the
Yeah.
auditorium. Yeah, I went with one of my coworkers. We were doing this thing where we were seeing horror movies for like a period of time. Hopefully, we can kick that back up soon. They the one thing I wanted to tell you and I wanted to mention to you, the theater that we went to, they still had all of these popcorn buckets and merch, and I'm talking Snow White, Lion King, and a stack of switchboard.
Oh
Or
wow.
yeah, switchboard buckets or witchboard, not switchboard. My thing auto corrected. The Witchboard movie buckets. I didn't know those existed or they
Which
warranted
boy?
buckets.
We did that
Witchboard.
trailer actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
with
gotta yeah. That came out.
Jamie Campbell Bower.
That came out.
Yeah, it did. But yeah,
Fair
so the
enough.
trailers that we had, it was interesting bunch. Regretting You, which we walked in late to the trailers because we were waiting for food. So halfway through for that, After the Fall, Him, Avatar, the a Red Band Mortal Kombat 2 trailer,
Nice.
Wuthering Heights, which I don't ever want to talk about again, and One Battle After Another. So it was an interesting group of movies. You'd think
Yeah.
like Black Phone 2 or something in there, since it was a horror movie, but yeah, that's what they had. But I mean, aside from that, the experience was pretty good. But I
Cool.
digress. Let's talk plots. So, would you like to take the reins on this one?
Sure. And I'll try to keep this brief or whatever, probably not. But the movie opens up in 1964. We meet a younger Ed and Lorraine Warren. They're investigating a haunting involving an antique mirror at a curio shop. Lorraine, who is very, very pregnant, she collapses upon seeing a vision of an entity in an unborn child, which causes her to go into like a premature labor. Ed speeds Lorraine, to the hospital, where they arrive and the baby is born stillborn. However, through the power of prayer, Lorraine is able to somehow revive the baby, whom she names Judy, which, we've seen Judy throughout this franchise, played by two different actresses. The actress playing her in this one, she comes back, she's older now. So, the present day, I believe, takes place in 1986. But yes, so 22 years later, the Smurl family, they move into a home in West Pinston, Pennsylvania. Jack and Janice Smurl, the mother, father, they shared this household, this large family. Jack's parents there, Mary and John, and then they have four daughters because, again, it's kind of a trope to have daughters in movies like this because daughters scream better than sons. At least that's my theory, and I'm sticking with it. But yes, the four daughters, Dawn, Heather, and twins Karen and Shannon. And of course, there is a dog. Again, because there is always a dog. A dog needs to remind the family that they can see these supernatural presences. But yes, for Heather's confirmation ceremony, John gives her this antique mirror because that's what you give a teenage daughter during their confirmation, is an old antique mirror that looks like demons possessed it. But during dinner, one of the kitchen ceiling lights suddenly crashes down, narrowly missing Heather. And we kind of flip to the Warrens, and due to Ed's worsening heart condition, the Warrens are kind of like in a retired state, and they're still giving classroom lectures, but their audiences is starting to dwindle. Like, in the first one, we see like the whole auditorium was filled. Now there was like maybe 6, 7 people. Um, but yes, they're having dinner. Judy, she's become increasingly sensitive to psychic visions. She has an episode and begins to panic, and we kind of see this throughout the film. Um, she uses a rhyme that her and her mother kind of created when she was young. I don't really remember the rhyme, but she's starting to see this vision of this like mirror that's kind of plaguing the Smurl family. um, and then we kind of cut back. Dawn and Heather, they attempt to dispose of the mirror, but the family continues to be terrorized by these three entities. It's an elderly woman, a younger woman, and a man wielding an axe. Exhausted, the family starts to share their story with the press in the hope of finding help. And this attracts the interest of Father Gordon, who returns. He's been in the movies, all three of them, leading up to this. We do meet Judy's new boyfriend, Tony. He kind of accidentally proposes to Judy during Ed's birthday. He was trying to get Ed's permission, and through I guess he like drops the ring. I can't remember. Some like drops the ring, and Judy walks in. He ends up proposing. Um, but Father Gordon is kind of unable to convince the Warrens' help. He goes to the Diocese of Scranton to seek help for the Smurls. The demon does attack Gordon there, and it kind of leads him to committing suicide. So, R.I.P. Father Gordon. You've been with us for so long. But at Father's Gordon funeral, Judy learns from a vision that he died while investigating the Smurls haunting. She secretly leaves Pennsylvania to investigate, and this is where Lorraine has a vision that kind of warns her like about Judy and what she's kind of been up to. So Ed, Lorraine, and Tony. If you still don't forget, Tony's Judy's now fiance. They go to the they go to the Smurls, and Judy kind of convinced them all to help out the family. Lorraine does discover that the three spirits are of a husband who had killed his wife and her mother, but they are being controlled by the demon that's kind of possessed by this mirror thing. The demon tricks Judy into the attic where she is attacked, causing her to fall down the stairs. Ed and Lorraine discover the mirror and realize it's the same demon from their very first investigation that we saw in the beginning of the movie. Certain that the demon is hunting Judy, they decide to transport the mirror back to their home where it can be contained. But Judy suddenly falls ill as Ed, Jack, and Tony attempt to remove the mirror from the house, but they fail. The demon possesses Judy and causes Ed to have a cardiac episode. He's had the heart issues from the previous film. But Lorraine is attacked in the basement. Tony rescues Lorraine and Ed recovers somehow. You know, movie. They possess Judy. Now in the attic, attempts to hang herself, but is cut down by Ed. Lorraine again uses prayer. Again, power of prayer. Is that a song? Anyways,
Probably. I
I
would
feel
think
like
so.
that's like I know "Living on a Prayer" is a song, but "Power of Prayer," I feel like that's a good like '80s ballad song,
There's
rock
Power of Love
ballad.
by
But
Celine Dion.
yeah, oh yeah, there we go. We need to get like a
And there's also
mashup
Power
between.
of Love from,
Yeah,
uh
yeah,
Huey Lewis.
yeah. We need to get some mashups going. Anyways, Lorraine, Lorraine again uses the power of prayer to revive Judy, and the demon attacks them. Ed is unable to exercise the mirror, and Lorraine resolves to tell Judy to embrace her psychic abilities. Um, I'm gonna save it. With Judy's help, the Warrens destroy the mirror. Family. There we go. I was saving that part for that. But yes, the Smurls, they end up saving the Smurls and they end up living in the house for 3 more years without further hauntings. And the remains of the mirror are kept within the Warrens Occult Museum. Like all the movies, we kind of close with the object being encased in their attic, or not attic, like their basement, like whatever. And then we kind of get like a thing like at the end of the movie, and we just kind of see it throughout the credits where Judy walks down the aisle with Ed, and she gets married to Tony, and on the eve of the wedding, Ed and Lorraine embrace, and then she shares that they had a vision about their future, and it's kind of like they were able to live a peaceful life like they always wanted. And it was kind of it was kind it was sad in a sense that it was like you kind of felt like this was the end, but it was just like you were kind of happy for him. It's just like that's kind of like what everybody wants, right, in life, like meeting that one person and just being at peace. I know,
One day.
but that is
One
how
day.
this movie concludes. And given the amount of money that it made, will it be the final one, or will they spin off Judy into her own franchise?
This is true. This is true. But thank you, Robert. Appreciate you, man. Good synopsis.
Thank you.
Good synopsis. So, let's shift gears. Robert, what worked?
So I'm probably gonna go ahead and combine what, because I don't know, sometimes I can't talk about what worked until I say what doesn't work first. But I'm gonna try. Um, Again, I do like. No, no, we're gonna go for what didn't work for me first.
You know what? Yeah,
So
let's do it backwards. Let's do it.
because I mean, we talked about this briefly the other day, and I think at least for me, I think I kind of pinpointed why I think this one and The Devil Made Me Do It didn't quite hit as the first two Conjurings. And again, I mean, we have James Wan for the first two, right? Master horror filmmaker. Nothing against this director, and I'm drawing a blank on his name. I know his
Michael
last name's like
Chavez.
Chavez, right? Okay, and nothing against him or his previous work. But I think with this one and the previous entry in the main franchise is there's not enough focus on the family, and you kind of get it in the first two where the family was the focal characters, and we know Ed and Lorraine are the main characters, right? And Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmiga are great, and they bring that gravitas. But to me, I always felt like they were the supporting characters in their own movies because they didn't need to be, built up. Like they were them. And it was always the focus on the family, because if you don't care about the family being haunted, then you don't care about the actual exorcism of the movie or going after this demon that's haunting the family, right? And I felt like that was the problem with this film. Like there was not I didn't I didn't really care about the Smurls. And I don't know if it's because there wasn't that much development with them, or if it was more, I don't want to say like it was kind of, they kind of feel like just this trope, right? Like this family brings in a haunted thing. Okay, they're haunted. Now we got to bring in the Warrens. It's kind of the same thing we've seen like in the previous entries. That's why I kind of like with the devil made me do it. It was a little bit of a breakaway from that, and again, we've talked about that. See our previous video on how I think that movie could have been made better. This one kind of returned, to the haunted house, haunted whatever that the first two was about. But I feel like this one just didn't hit for me because I did not care too much about the family, and I felt like that's what the last two entries has been missing. Like Ed and Lorraine, like they don't need the build up. We know who they are. Patrick, like I've said it before, they have that gravitas. Like yes, I think that this movie wanted to focus more on the Judy aspect because I do feel like they're gonna try and spin her off into her own movie or her own franchise, rather it be a show. Because I think they even announced the show. I don't know if it's gonna be like
Oh,
a
really?
prequel, like early, Ed and Lorraine, or if it's gonna be, Judy, because I don't know if this actress is capable of carrying a franchise forward unless they bring back McKenna Grace, because she's on
Right.
the up and up. So, um, other than that, like that, I think that for me, that's where the what doesn't work for me with in terms of just the overall. Like, I just don't care, but I do like that they kind of fleshed out or made Judy a more prominent role, and I felt like that's what they were going to try to go with this one, because again, these, Patrick and Vera, they can't go on forever, right? So how do you
Yes, they can.
I know, right? How do you extend this beyond, you know, what they want to do, right? So I do like that they kind of built them up. So, and I know it's kind of like counterproductive what I said because but I was like, this movie was what, 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I felt like I didn't get
Yeah.
nothing for the Smurl family, right? Um, but that's just where it was. Again, the Father Gord. I know this movie is like based on true events, so they take liberties. I mean, was Father Gordon a real character in their lives? Growing up throughout their career. So I know they take a little liberties with it, and it's just like you kind of feel that trope, right? Of something has to happen to the priest eventually.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, I actually did kind of enjoy this movie more than the third one. Because again, it did kind of go back to what we've liked about the first two movies. I just felt like it just did not get to that level, just because, again, I didn't care about the family being haunted, and again, it was kind of like the Nun, or not the Nun. It was the Conjuring 2, where there was a main demon controlling like other ghosts or whatever, like we saw with I'm drawing a blank on the nun's name, but Valak.
Velik.
Yeah, yeah, controlling that old man on the chair, like the
Yeah.
right in
Bill.
the yeah, Bill.
Bill.
So
Bill.
I mean,
Bill.
it was a little like redundant in terms of story and plot, but I mean, I would probably watch this movie again before I watched the third one.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
probably a little prelude to the ranking, but yeah, I think that's for me pinpointing like the Warrens are, even in the first and second one, they were kind of a supporting character to the family, and they kind of like made them the main characters of this one. It kind of like took away from, why do I care about this family being haunted when I don't get anything from them?
I agree. I agree with you. Is there anything else that didn't work for you?
No, but I will say that the one scene where she's on the phone, like the old corded phones,
Yeah.
that scene where she's like in the pantry and it's all dark,
It's like panning back and
like like
forth like
like
that.
there's no kids in there. Like, nah, you just, what are we doing? Like, why is this house so dark?
Yeah.
Like, what are
It
we
was the
doing?
80s. It was a
Oh,
different time.
man, it's all brown. Like, anyways, nah, but I mean, that was a probably one of the more intense scenes, just because it's like, I'm preparing for a jump scare, but it's like, you know what I mean? It didn't go on. It didn't overstay its welcome, and it wasn't like a short thing. I think it was the right level of like, I guess, tension, and I was like, that was pretty good. But no, the floor is yours now.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Well, I do agree with you. I was just pulling my notes up. What you mentioned about the family, it's true. I think you said it perfectly. The Warrens, it's not all about the Warrens. They're sort of the presence that's through there. They're like the bookends. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Opens with the Warrens, they're sprinkled in, and then we end with the Warrens. And everything else in between is the story. And that's honestly this whole journey that we've had with this rank series, it's always come back to the story. You need a strong story in order for it to go. And what I mean by that is strong characters. You have the Warrens who are already strong characters, but you said it perfectly. The family needs to be strong as well. First one, very strong family. Second one, very strong family. Third one, they only focus on maybe three family members, if anything. And
Yeah.
the rest of the family's sort of just background noise. Like you didn't even know Wendy the waitress.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this one they're on the right track with it. But then as soon as they need to as soon as they need to get the word out, it's like they hit fast forward on the movie where they're like, okay, boom, 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 newsreels, all this is happening. And then it's like, okay, now we start shifting away from the family, and then Judy hijacks the movie. It's
Yeah.
like Judy's there throughout the movie, but then she hijacks like the second half of the entire movie. So, I will say Judy does feel a little miscast on it. No slight towards the actress. I mean, she's just doing the job, but I don't know. I'm also, I wanted them to bring the original actress back. Like I feel like McKenna Grace did a good job with that, but I'm like at that point that divorce show that the original actress was on like was over. Let's bring her back. Like bring her back into the fold. Like let her like she's that's the one issue I have with a lot of more recent movies where we've had child actors portraying a character initially. They're building the character and you're like, "Oh, like that's cool." And then you see them grow with the character, but then as soon as they want a time jump or they go into adult, then they're recast. A prime example of that is the Ant-Man movies.
Ant-Man, yeah.
Like
Was it
again, no
Abby,
slight to
Abby,
Abby
Abby Thorson,
Ryder
Abby
for
Ryder
first
Thorson, right?
for
Or something like that.
Forston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Forston? Something,
sorry,
yeah.
we're butchering your name, Abby, but we love you. You're
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
to
she was
see her in
like
that third movie,
adorable in the first two movies, and then like,
yes, it's the whole reason
yeah,
he works as a father and you buy him as a father because he is a father first and foremost in that movie. He becomes Ant-Man and he becomes a hero because that's his journey to
yeah.
that. But at the end of even in the second one, still a father, still wants to go against that because he wants to be a father. Third one throws all that out the window
Even
because
the
we
brief
recast.
thing in Endgame, even what was her Emma Furman, I think is who they
Yeah,
cast as. Like you can even was probably in it for like what 30 seconds, but you still see like I don't know, like the heartbreak, like or the she's not
like
heartbreak, but like
her, like you can
heartbreak off
buy
his face,
her.
but like her facial expressions, she killed it for like 30 seconds. I'm like, you thought your dad was dead for 5 years, and I'm like, all of a sudden he's back, and you're just like, you see the emotion on her face, and I mean, again, nothing against Catherine Newton. I think Catherine Newton for
Catherine Newton. Yeah.
in Quantum Mania, but like, I don't that whole movie was just they got away from the essence of what made Scott Lang,
And that's what
and
I
you
felt with this one,
yeah.
with what they did with Judy, because they sort of infantilized her. Because there's some things that she's doing where she's like timid and
Yeah.
all this, and like her character wasn't like that. Her character was like that because she was a child. She's a grown
Yeah.
adult now, but they make her just seem so timid in this, and just like she's just like she's just a child and sheltered. And I just it that's one of the things that took me out of the movie more than anything. Let's see, what else do I have? There's some general notes that I took, but I'll probably bring them up a little later. Um, I will say one thing I just want to mention. It's not really something that didn't work for me, but I just thought it was funny. This movie is a new line cinema joint. WB is now a distant memory. WB wanted nothing. Um, the thing that one of the things I didn't like is actually in the opening of the movie. It opens on the screen with or not even on the screen. They're talking. It opens with them doing the interview with Victoria Granger. They're like, yes, this is Ed and Lorraine Warren, 1964 interview with Victoria Granger, stuff like that. They do the interview. They're setting the tone, and then like 3 minutes later, it pops up on the screen, 1964. Like, we don't need that. We already know it's in 1964.
Yeah.
Um, I must save that for later, because that was something I really liked. Let's see. I liked that. I liked that. The movie references. There's like two movie references that they put in there to establish that it's set in the 80s. The whole Ghostbusters comments when they're there, oh, like Ghostbusters, and then the sloth from Goonies reference when
Yeah.
one of the sisters calls her sloth from. Yeah, there's actually a lot of stuff that I did like in this movie. But like I said, that was some of the things. I will say the thing that did take me out of it, the giant Annabelle. The giant Annabelle took me out of the movie. I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
yeah, 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 yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
during
Because
the
what was
attic
it?
scene.
There. Okay, so that and there was a vision that I think Judy had where because they were trying to figure out like who was the demon behind it, and then it showed Annabelle again, and I just kind of
Yeah.
groaned in the theater. I was like, please no, like what we've already done this. We've done Annabelle like in at least one Conjuring movie, and then Annabelle had like three movies. But I don't even think they did. They ever go into like is that what they went with? That demon was in the mirror, or did they ever like establish
No, and
right?
that's a big issue with that is they never tell you about the demon. But I will say this: when the mirrors, the next thing that I hated, the mirror spin, levitating and spinning at
Yeah,
the end looks so freaking bad. But I will say it looked like Valak appeared for a
yeah.
brief moment
Again,
while it was spinning. Like I thought I could have sworn I saw the nun's silhouette, and I was like, okay,
it's very possible. Might have to
like
rewatch it and see if we can catch it.
yeah, like it's just it, but yeah, that was just so freaking like, ugh.
Yeah, I was like, we don't need Annabelle anymore.
The him crashing the car and the freaking thing was just, I was like, really, dude? I was like, why are you doing a burnout in the middle of the freaking thing and then just hydroplanes right into the side of the house? Just like, but yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, that was pretty much all I really didn't like from it. Like I said, I there was a lot more that surprisingly I actually did like about this movie, and I do agree with you. This was more memorable than Devil Made Me Do It. This would have been a good
Yeah,
follow up to that movie, or as we've talked about in the previous one, your idea of it should have been a courtroom drama would have been a better movie.
yeah.
But yeah, aside from that, again, switching gears. Robert, what did you like about this movie?
um, I mean, again, I mean, I liked. For me, it didn't have a lot of like the what I think one of the things I didn't like about the third one was it was like a lot of just cuts, right? It was just random cuts. Like we're gonna show a little bit here, a little bit here. Like it didn't it lowered the amount of just jumping back and forth and just giving everybody whiplash. So I felt like it did allow when we got into a scene, it allowed that scene to kind of breathe a little bit more. I did like kind of make I mean again the Warrens expanding that I guess family dynamic, the tree, we get to see more of Judy and how she is with her family, and then we get introduced to her boyfriend who I already forgot his name, but he wasn't
Tony.
Tony. I was gonna say Troy. I knew it was gonna be a T, but introducing him, I don't know. I kind of felt like he was gonna be I don't want to say like cannon fodder, but like at the same time just be next to useless. But he actually wasn't, which was kind of nice. Again, I don't know if it's because they were maybe trying to set up a future with these two characters, like they're the next like Ed and Lorraine. Um, because I'm like looking at like a future thing on the Wikipedia, like they did say they wanted to announce a prequel film. Um, but I guess according to a pay dispute, James Bond may not be involved with the project. So, whatever.
Oh,
I don't even know how much. Yeah, I don't know how much involvement he even had with the last two, just other than he created the characters, right? Or
I think he's jumping to Universal because especially
it's
with all
possible.
the like stuff he's been doing with Megan and whatnot. So I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Um, but where was I? I mean, I do like that they always bring back like the minor characters, like Drew was in it, Father Gordon. Like they didn't have a whole lot to do in this one, but I mean, I do like that you know this universe is still there, all these characters that come and go. I did like that in the wedding scene that they brought back everybody that they helped in the previous movies. I thought that was just a nice touch, just it was like, oh
Oh no, I
yeah,
have something to say about it,
yeah,
but
just like
I'm
gratuitous,
holding
just gratuitous cameos. I'm like, oh yeah, there.
it.
Like it wasn't like overbearing on it, so it was just like it was at the end, so it's like, all right, cool. Why not? It's like the ending to Endgame where it's just like everybody's at this funeral, even if Tony didn't know them. Like, why is the Guardians of the Galaxy here? Um, all these people flew from England for Judy's wedding, even though Judy had nothing to do with saving them in the first in the second Conjuring. But it's just like it gave that finality kind of to the franchise. Like, all right, we're moving on from Ed and Lorraine's story, but then it made a lot of money, so we're like, wait a minute. Um, but I mean, this movie, like I said, it did things way better. Like I think the director kind of learned from his maybe not so good, or just from his mistakes from the third one, and he kind of did his best job to emulate James Wan's first and second outing of it. But it's just one of those ones where it's like it tried its best, but it just didn't quite meet it. But it's still a serviceable film that I think if you're just a general fan, you'll still probably enjoy this movie. It had some pretty decent jump scares. Um, so I mean, if you're a fan of those, I mean, I think it's going to do its job in keeping you entertained for at least 2 hours of the movie.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Anything else you liked?
Uh, no, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna give you the floor, and then if there's something that you might, we can kind of go back and forth on. But
Yeah.
I'll give you the time now.
Thank you, thank you. So, I'm pretty much gonna go in order of my notes because, like I said, what I liked is I liked it more than the previous entry. So I think that says more than enough right there. But just some general notes that I took during the movie. These are gonna go with what I liked and what I didn't like a little bit. So what I did like, CGI baby Judy. We get inside the womb. Like I swear they could have just done a little gasp when they do it because it's like, because even the baby does like a little. Like I laughed. I think it was me, my friend, and I think like two other groups that were in there, and we were in one of the bigger auditoriums. So I was just like, ah. Um, Judy seeing things is confirmed in this movie because
Yes.
we had questioned that back in the second Conjuring. I was like, is she clairvoyant? Is she able to see things? And it is confirmed in this one.
Yeah, and we
Uh,
saw it in Annabelle Comes Home, but I mean, given that that's like a spin-off type thing, like, are they how true to the like overall canon is that going to be, right? Like, I feel like
yeah,
this is the main series. If the main series does something that kind of like trumps something else, then you got to go by what the main series does.
yeah. I thought they did a really great job with the setting. In Pittsburgh, England. I kept trying to because I had looked up the cast and I was like, there are a lot of English actors in this
Yeah.
movie. And then I looked at, I was like, where did they film this thing? And I was like, oh, that's why. This was
Gotta
a
get them
UK
tax breaks.
production, dude, for real. But they did a really good job with the setting. Like it felt like Pittsburgh. It felt
They did.
like 80s Pittsburgh, which still
A
haven't been
blue
overseas, but
collar, yeah, like that blue collar, like suburban-ish type. Yeah,
yeah,
you
like
felt it.
yes, and you need that. You need that for a movie like this. We do get a tracking shot of the family, as we have in the previous installments. Heather Elizabeth Smurf, a name primed for possession. But the movie subverts your expectations. She's not the one. It is actually Judy. The dog Simon, barking as soon as the mirror is revealed. He knows!
I mean,
He
of course,
knows.
again, it's always trust the dog.
So the dinner scene with the Warrens in the restaurant was pretty good. The hand was pretty good
Mm,
when it pulled off. Like it's in
yeah.
the trailer, but I was like, but when it's played in the movie, it's actually pretty good. I wish I could have had some of that lasagna in the moment. I don't know why that food just sounds so good. Like you said about the three that are inside the basement, we have, was it the husband, the wife, and her
The
mother,
wife
right?
and her mother, yeah.
Yeah, he's looking like the lead singer from Avatar. I don't know if you've ever heard Avatar, or seen what they look like.
No.
I'll put it up on the
No.
screen, or I'll send it to you if you want to put it on the screen for editing. But you'll be like, if you once you see it, you'll never be able to unsee it. Like you said earlier, the kitchen phone scene, not bad at all. That was a
Yeah.
really well done scene. The dad has a line, and I wrote it down just because I was like, what? Like it made me laugh. But it was when they're talking about cheese, and he says, "Slap me with cheese, get on my knees." Oh, I was laughing in the theater. There is one line that made me laugh harder than anything, though, and it's like you said when they toss the mirror away, and it cuts outside to the garbage truck crushing it, and she starts coughing up the glass. There's a line that the mom has. She says, "Is that glass? Did you swallow glass?" Like she goes from being all nurturing and caring to like getting ready to beat her,
Like you've been
all within
watching
the
her the
span
whole
of second.
time. When did she
Yeah,
swallow glass?
yeah. I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's Mexican." um, let's see. I had a little line about Ed to the doctor about his heart when he's like, "Egg whites, egg what?" The Warrens party. We get a chicken in the living room. Reference to Annabelle Comes Home.
Yep.
Reminder that they have chickens.
They have chickens.
Um, Father Gordon at the party looking all old now, looking like Father Merrin. Sheriff Brad returns.
Yeah.
Did you ever see an exorcism? Did I see an exorcism? Did I ever see an
Shows the
exorcism?
scar, right?
Yeah. Judy's room, Annabelle, still not scary. I wrote down the rhyme. I had wrote down the rhyme, but I guess I didn't have it all. Tony asking for blessing. Oh, yeah. So when Tony's asking for the blessing to marry Judy, he talks to Lorraine first.
Yeah.
Um and Lorraine touched the ring. And I wanted to know if she saw something when she touched it. She's like
It's possessed too.
yeah. And then there was another line where he said, "You're gonna let us live in a haunted house." Oh yes, that's when the Smurls are talking with each other. She's like, "You're gonna let us live in a haunted house," and then she starts cussing during that scene too, and I'm like, probably shouldn't be taking the Lord's name in vain in that situation. You want all the good on your side,
Right?
and you wonder why they kept attacking. The dad levitating in the room, that was a pretty good scene. That one was actually
Yeah.
pretty good. I hate to admit it, but the demon at the foot of the bed did get me.
Yeah.
That did get me when he was just like, ah! I was like, ah! I was like, damn it! The videotape scene, that one was really hard to see due to just how dark it was. Like that one, even
Yeah.
I was like, what? What? Like couldn't really see it. Father Gordon blessing the house. We get the trope with the holy water burning. They did that in the Amityville Horror. Let me see. Oh, when they go to get Judy, they talk about that they're just going in to get her in, bring her out. We're not helping. Ed still brought the bag.
Of course, he
This
knew.
dude's ready to die.
Oh yeah,
Like it's like I'm
he
going
knew.
out in the field.
He
No
knew.
egg whites are gonna take me out.
Nope.
I will say this: I did like the carousel figurine music. I hate, and this is one of my didn't likes that I didn't mention. I hate that they used the carousel music from the first movie in the trailer for this
Mm.
movie. They should have used the one that was used in the movie because it was creepy. It was like, okay, like I could get behind this. There was a line I really liked from Ed. Do you always cook pancakes? Sometimes it's waffles.
Sometimes waffles. Yep.
The staircase scene, when Judy's looking upstairs, the noise upstairs sounded like a toilet. I don't know.
It
It's
might.
just
Hey,
what,
maybe sometimes demons gotta go.
right? Or I thought they were gonna pull like another Sheriff Brad scene from the first one where he's walking out from the bathroom. When he's like, "What?" The attic scene. That room is huge. The
Yes.
freaking attic is enormous. So much bigger than
Yes.
what it looks like outside. Um, when Lorraine falls down the stairs, she does that parasite backflip down it too, and then she's just like, "Oh, ow!" It's just a scratch. Um, let's see how many people we can piss off with this one. Simon the dog getting tossed made me laugh.
Poor dog.
This makes me a push right into the side of the wall. It was either gonna be that or a neck snap, and had they gone for the neck snap, better movie. Just to watch people like, ah,
Not the
ah.
dog. Then
Yeah,
John Wick would be coming in.
exactly. Oh man, we get 80s Keanu,
Oh yeah, going
Bill
off on
and
that
Ted
demon.
Keanu.
That demon would exercise itself.
Oh god, that'd be hilarious. Ed's like, get the book. Judy. So one thing I had in there: if the noose didn't kill her, the fall and concussion did. Yeah, somehow she's still alive through all of it.
Power
I
of
already.
prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Power of prayer.
So that was pretty much all I had. There was just a couple last points that I had. At the end when they go, like you said, they're putting everything in the room and all that. Ed's looking around, and he gives that look to Tony. He's like, "Hey," tosses the keys. Thanks, Mean Joe.
Right? Here you go, kid.
So two last points I want to make. Judy's wedding. You brought it up already, but there's one thing I wanted to mention. We couldn't get Ron Livingston back. We couldn't. Was he
No.
that much to bring back for it?
Yeah.
But yes, the end game panning through the guests. Like, it's the first thing I thought when I saw that. I was like, what the hell? Our end game ending to the Warrens. Which,
Yep.
speaking of Lorraine seeing the future, how many kids did Tony and Judy have? Is the question I have, because it was like the scene at the end of Walk Hard when Dewey's like, now I'm gonna start spending time with my kids. Dewey Raheem.
Yep.
Oh, but yeah. And then during the credits, Valak does blink during the credits, or the blocks. We see the Valak blocks during the credits,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty cool. But other than that, I mean, like I said, I liked this movie a lot more. There were things that I really liked about it. And it's sort of, I don't know, it's sort of down the middle
Yeah.
for me with that. But I will say my final thoughts. So let's go ahead and let's shift gears to final thoughts. What did you think overall about the movie?
Overall. So it's kind of interesting. I think I might have a perfect place for it because, again, I mean, I've said it, you've said it. Like, I do like this movie more than The Devil Made Me Do It, but I'm not entirely sure I would say it's better. So I gave Devil Made Me Do It a 6 out of 10, and I'm so glad I kept these ratings. Um, so I gave that one a 6 out of 10, but I don't know if I necessarily like this one more than Annabelle Creation, which I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. So I think it's going to be like kind of somewhere right in between those two films. The thing is, do I want to give it a 6.5 or a 7? Kind of torn. I think, I'll probably go ahead and give it that 7 out of 10.
Nice.
Again, like I said, I will probably watch this one before, Devil Made Me Do It. I'm definitely gonna watch it again because I mean I only saw it the one time in theaters. I do want to revisit it now that we've talked about it. I do want to see if Valak is there when the mirror's spinning. There's always certain hidden gems that you might be able to find upon rewatches. Because I mean we found several what in the Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so I mean it has a little bit of a rewatchability to it. So I think that's why I'll give it that 7 instead of 6.5. Because if it was like, okay, it's a good solid movie, one and done, I'm cool. Probably give it that 6.5, but I think I do want to rewatch this at least one more time, maybe even two. So I think I'd give it that 7 out of 10. I think that's a good fair score.
Okay. There was one thing that I forgot to bring up. Something that I didn't like, and it's something you brought up about the editing and the cuts. They're so like less cuts in this one than there was in the previous movies that Chavez directed. But it's the Father Gordon death scene. Cut to the next scene. They cut it a little too late.
Mm,
Like I feel like had they had trimmed maybe 1 second, maybe two to when it happens, then the cut would have made sense. But it's like it happens, they let it linger for 1 second too long, and then they cut. But the cut that they cut to is like one of those ones where it could have been perfect. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like as soon as he hits, boom, you cut immediately.
Yep.
But it's just like that was the one little gripe that I had. But as far as my final thoughts, it was an entertaining movie. You said this a little earlier. It does feel like Chavez had a better handle on it. The ending though did feel very anticlimactic and rushed.
Yeah.
We never find out what entity was using the three ghosts. I never realized how many Armageddon references there were in this movie. The get the book, the wedding at the end, and like you said, I wouldn't mind watching this one again. That being said, I'm actually gonna give this one a 6 out of 10. But looking back at my previous rating for Devil Made Me Do It, I gave that a 4.5. So that should tell you more than enough about how I felt about this one. So, with that being said, let us now switch gears to the tier list. Robert, where does Conjuring Last Rites rank for you?
Well, I think I gave that away earlier. So, without any drama, actually, there might be a little drama. Am I going to put it in a B tier or am I going to put it at the top of C?
Ooh.
And assuming my mouse works, there we go. We got it. We are going to put it at the end of B tier.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
So now, my turn. Where do you sit? So, like I
Dun,
said,
dun,
definitely
dun.
way better than all of these travesties. But is it better than Annabelle Comes Home? Or is it on the level of Annabelle Creation? Huh. this is where it gets interesting. I still really like Annabelle Creation. Annabelle Comes Home surprised me
Yeah.
this last time that I had watched it, but I honestly think I'm in agreement with you that it's neck
Ooh.
and neck. That it's not, it is nowhere, it is way better than everything below it. But I don't know if it's better than Annabelle Creation or if it's right there. I feel like it's sort of neck and neck, like they're right
Yeah.
on top of each other. But yeah, now just looking at
Very
what we have
interesting.
so far,
I
I
mean, it
think
looks
we're
like we
pretty.
were pretty much in agreement for at least the top, the four, like the four best. Kind of
Yeah,
deviate towards the middle here, but for the most part, the top four and the last one for sure.
yeah, but dude, we made it. We made
Yes,
it to the Conjuring
yes.
universe. We did it. We did it, man. Congratulations. This was a
This was only
fun.
9 movies or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 movies in the Conjuring
Yeah.
universe. Now, that being said, we did have a discussion off air and we've gone back and forth on it constantly. There is one other film that we've gone back and forth on. And you may have seen it when I scroll down, and that is The Curse of La Llorona. Now,
Yes.
as far as that goes, we will be doing a separate episode, but it will be a very, very condensed
Yes.
ranking for that one. But stay tuned in the future for that. But as far as this goes, thank you all so much for watching. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. It has been a fun adventure to say the least. Some of these movies I hope I will never see again. Some of them I don't mind watching. But regardless, thank y'all so much for going on this journey with us. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our previous features, and as Robert always says, get down in the comments. We want to hear from y'all. What is your take on the Conjuring universe? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Do you feel that, we are all out of whack on this? Let us hear from you. Who is your favorite villain? Who is your favorite hero? Which one is your favorite movie? What surprised you the most? Get down in the comments. We want to hear from y'all. And Robert, would you like to let them know what else we have going on?
Yeah, so a little tease. We will be doing The Curse of La Llorona. Probably be if not a short, it'd be a very short video. So yes, we will get around to it, and it's very, very like loose connection to this franchise, but we will touch upon it. We also, now that we've concluded this one, we will be, starting our new ranked series. We're going to be doing the Predator franchise, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't done so, feel free to check out our now 105, 106 trailer video reactions. Um, Got a little bit of everything: shows, movies, video games. We also have some user requests. If you have something you might want us to react to, get down in the comments, let us know. We also going to do like a summer recap video. We did a like most anticipated video in like back in April. So we're going to revisit that, see where we stacked up on where we were then to where we are now. So, a lot of good stuff coming. So, stay tuned.
Awesome. Robert, thank you so much as always. Appreciate you. And thank y'all so much for watching. We will see y'all in the next one.